We are spotlighting some of the experts that we have at the National Speakers Association Connecticut chapter. And today I am delighted to bring on one of our members, Lisa Lelas, who is an arts coach and a speaker, of course. And she joins us now to help us out with some presentation tips and skills. And hey, Lisa, how you doing today?
Good. How are you? Thank you for
Doing
having me.
fantastic. Oh, I'm so glad to have you because we have such a rich community in the NSA Connecticut chapter. And as you know, many coaches have specific expertise, and yours particularly is called arts coaching. So I
Yes.
wanted to ask you about that. What does it mean to be an arts coach? What do
Well,
you do and who do you serve?
the artists are a unique breed, and many of us, as speakers or entrepreneurs, have that sort of right brain, creative thinking mentality, and that's fine too. But primarily working with creative, sometimes sensitive minds of writers, speakers, and actors, often with fragile egos, and my job really is to keep them focused and following through for whether it be a good published book or a well-polished performance. My whole background is the arts. I've made a successful career in the arts through many different channels, and I used to think they were all separated, but really they all belong together. I mean, I was a TV film casting director for many years, a radio newscaster, a long-running newspaper columnist. I'm still there doing that, and I'm a publisher and editor of several magazines. I'm the performance coach for a women's skate team. And I was a middle school drama teacher for 25 years.
Wow.
And
Okay.
of course, I'm the founding dean of the Connecticut Speakers Academy. So it's,
Yes, I know you. I love that you do so many things, but it's only because you're so good at what you do, and it can really relate to many different areas. So maybe even an executive that needs to get ready for a
oh,
presentation,
for sure.
or an actor who doesn't want to write a book, right?
Right. For
So,
writing really has been part of my DNA since I was a little girl. I was always writing. I have had thousands of articles published. I wrote 5 books, one of them a bestseller. But yeah, that's true. And everybody needs that. If you have a story to tell, you could be a businessman, you have wisdom, or if you have an expertise, write a book. I work with a lot of TV and film actors, training them. But
well, let me ask you then, what do you see then? What are some of the common mistakes that you see when people are giving a presentation or doing a performance? Is there any commonalities there? What can you?
well, some of the common mistakes are, I think, well, for speaking, and I work with a lot of speaking clients. For speaking, I would say in particular, talking too much about yourself, which comes from the imposter syndrome, where we don't feel we're worthy enough. Wow, we're getting paid how much to be on this stage? Am I really worthy? And so a lot of new speakers start off with telling about themselves, and it's okay to share stories about yourself that pertain and they can learn from, but really it's always all about them, the audience, and not you. Also, I think not, and from my training of TV and film actors, not changing your voice inflections is a big mistake. You need to constantly re-engage the audience. You have to know how to read the room and re-engage the audience and you know, know when they might be pulling out their phones or falling asleep. That way, then you got to change things up.
You got to
But
be
yeah,
self-aware. I know, right? It's
exactly.
like,
And also the not you said mistake. So another mistake would be not properly using the art of the pause.
okay.
That is really important. If you want to make drive home a statement that they're going to remember or write it down, you pause, you say it, and then you pause again. And pauses are another way of, if there's a pause and the audience is looking down, they're going to look up. So it's utilizing that too. But so and it all a lot of speaking, performing goes hand in hand with the actors that I work with. It's putting, it's properly breathing, putting proper emotions, body language into
Oh,
it.
there's a
Because if
lot that goes into
Yeah,
it.
because if you don't tell your face what you're thinking, your words are just going to be words,
Ah,
and you can pull anyone off the street to read these words. But an actor or a successful presenter will show, things through body language and emotion before they say the words. So it's all a package,
So
and it
it's
comes
really
off
like, I
authentic.
mean, I always like to tout being authentic, but when you're talking about a presentation, you kind of have to have these built-in moments, I suppose, where you're being more, I don't want to say rehearsed, but rehearsed then.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to come off like like you're reading from
Mhm.
a projector or something. But it just, it has to have some bit of naturalness in it. And that's why you don't write out a complete speech. Maybe you write out your pointers, or you have a little bit of notes, but you've got to talk authentically.
That's good advice because I remember, I don't write a lot of speeches, but the first time I wrote one, actually for National Speakers Association for my SAS talk, which is,
Yeah,
after you go through the academy, you do this like 5-minute speech. And
yeah.
so I wrote out the whole thing and then I memorized the whole thing and then I delivered the whole thing, but I got so caught up because I couldn't remember the words. I guess that's a pitfall, right?
Well, yeah, because you had that next layer of memorization, so then you're forgetting about the words, and then once you forget about the word, I've run thousands of auditions as a TV film casting director for many years in New York, and some of the brightest, most talented actors would come in and they would make these common mistakes, or, that they would concentrate solely on the words and forget to breathe. And breathing makes it just kind of brings it to life, so
Yeah.
there's
Breathing
a
would have helped me in that case,
yeah, and
amongst a lot of things. All
using
right,
pauses.
I wanted to, as we wrap up here, I wanted to ask you if you have like 3 tips to possibly get booked on a television interview or to get featured in a magazine, because I know that you, are doing a lot of articles about people. So,
Yeah.
what would you suggest to people to get noticed?
Well, yeah, and I am the publisher and the editor of a few Shoreline, Connecticut magazines. So, well, first thing I would say is you're welcome to contact me if you have a good article of interest. But I think as far as getting on like TV news, I was a regular guest on Good Morning Connecticut on Channel 8 for many many years on the weekends, and I think the main thing is first of all, be timely. Have what tip or have subject matter that that you want to speak on or share that aligns with an upcoming, I don't know, holiday or something that's going on in the news right now. I mean, just so being timely absolutely works. If you speak on something that, oh my God, that's in the news this week, kind of thing. Second would be to offer to be a guest on a holiday. That's the
Um,
hardest time. I've booked lots of guests for our local affiliates, because they couldn't find anyone that would come in on Easter Sunday, and I would call up some of my coaching clients going, this is your chance. Can you come on Easter Sunday? But
I used to host a lot of Christmas Day
yeah,
specials.
because it's hard, and also relationship building is really important. And whether it's for a speaker agency, or a local news producer, you want to build up relationships. Help them, let them know that, hey, I'm not far. You call me in a pinch if a guest cancels. Just try to go that extra mile, and build basically a friendship, so it's
Yeah.
relationship building.
That's good, good networking advice too. Well, Lisa Lelas, I want to thank you so much for joining me today and sharing some of your expertise. I'm sure that your tips will help folks out there who are looking to get more exposure and
Thank
also
you.
to be a little bit more dynamic with their presentations. So thanks so much for joining.
Welcome.
And also, just to know that the NSA Connecticut chapter is really a strong community. And, coaches do need coaches also, right? So we're a strong community. We like to nurture each other. We like to learn about what each other is doing. And it's a community that really helps one another. If you are interested, if you're a coach, a consultant, or a speaker that would like to grow your business or your expertise to the next level, be sure to check us out at nsaconnecticut.com. That's nsact.org. Okay, I corrected myself.